What's going on, YouTube? It's Jason from the Lock Talk, and I'm here to talk about every single NBA game today, January 7th, man. Let's go talk about it. But before I do, please, if you like all the content and the knowledge I've been dropping, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me how your year's been going, what's your goals for 2025. I know there's a lot going on, man. It's kind of flying by for me. How's it been for you? Leave a comment and hit that subscribe button, man. Let's keep on rocking YouTube. And hey, man, just to recap how I did in premium, another winning day, man. 2-1. I almost had the clean sweep. Two of these plays actually were also on the YouTube video. Kate Cunningham, points and assists, that blew it out the water. And Victor Wembanyama over 39.5 points and rebounds. He missed. He had 35 points and rebounds in the third quarter. Didn't get anything after that. I mean, 6 minutes in, I thought it was a blowout winner. Is what it is, man. And then the last one we have Pacers first half -6.5. They won in double-digit fashion. So that's 6 straight winning days. Hopefully, I can make it number 7 today. But obviously, if you want all my plays, go to that pinned comment down below or in that description. There is a link to join our premium chat. But nonetheless, man, let's talk about every single game on the board today. I'm going to break it down. All right, so the first game we have on the board, we have the Phoenix Suns against the Charlotte Hornets. And yes, I mean, the Phoenix Suns, they're on a back-to-back with travel. It's a tough spot for them. But the one thing I will want to say is that the Hornets, they may have all their guys playing today. That's the one thing that's a little interesting. In terms of the matchup, defensively, Hornets are not good. They played a pretty slow pace. Suns, I think everyone will be playing today. We take a look at the injury report. The only guy that's out is Royce O'Neal, but the Hornets, I don't see LaMelo Ball or Brandon Miller listed. This game, we'll find out. I mean, the Suns are definitely the higher profile team with Durant, Booker, Beal, and I believe Nurkic will be coming off the bench. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, that second rotation is going to be very, very tough. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are leaning on the Phoenix Suns because they truly think that because the first unit is good enough to compete with the second unit, and definitely the second unit of the Suns can probably battle off any secondary unit of the Hornets. I mean, I don't know, but back to back with travel, the one thing I always say about the Hornets is they have a very good 3-point offense. Whether they make their shots or not is a totally different thing. They take a lot of shots from the 3-point line. If we take a look at the Suns, their 3-point defense is one of the worst in the league. So if there's any opportunity for the Hornets to maybe get a lead, obviously don't look at the 3-point percentage, more about how many shots they take. Of course, you want them to score in a good percentage, but I'm just saying when LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Washington all play, Miles Bridges all play, they shoot a lot of threes, and if they make them, it could be a problem for the Suns. Am I saying this very confidently? Absolutely not, but I do think I have to make a game pick. I will lean with the Charlotte Hornets plus the points, maybe to the first half. They might, but the Suns have also been very good at the first half on the road. If I was to pick a side or a total, I'll probably lean under, but back to back with travel, I don't know. I think the Hornets, if everyone's healthy, can possibly pull this off, but not an easy game in my opinion to predict. They're a little bit always overrated just because of the name value, but I honestly don't think the Suns are really that great. I mean, the record alone says it right here: 16-8 to start the season, not been good. All right, the next game we'll talk about on the board is the Houston Rockets against the Washington Wizards. Houston Rockets, big favorites on the road. And I've said it many times before. The place you want to fade the Houston Rockets for the whole game is on the road. They're one of the best home covering teams on the road. It's been much, much different. In terms of the matchup, I mean, the Wizards are the worst defensive everywhere. Offensively, not a great team. In terms of the injuries, though, there's one thing we have to pay attention to. Malcolm Brogdon, it looks like he's hurt. I don't know if Jordan Poole is officially out, but he's a game time decision, so that's big. And both of these guys are out there basically without two guards. And they'll be using their backup guard in Carrington, but he's also a game time decision. On the Rocket side, Jalen Green's a game time decision, but I'm not sure if he's going to sit out or not. Obviously, these are big injuries. Houston Rockets are one of the best defenses in the league, but laying all these points is not something I really want to do, to be honest, with the Rockets on the road. I also believe, take a look, Rockets did play 2 days ago At home, this will be one of the first games on the road. I don't know, man. I don't want to bet the Wizards. Trust me. But they've also looked pretty terrible. I mean, they lost their last game against the Pelicans. They also lost the game before that. I mean, Rockets probably blow them out the water. But in terms of where I would bet, it depends who's playing. I mean, if the Wizards don't have Poole and Brogdon, I think Houston probably blows them out. In terms of like where the money's at, I mean, everyone's on the Houston Rockets for good reason. I'll say this though, honestly, these are conflicting trends. Wizards really good to the first quarter and first half because they're getting all these points, but so have the Rockets been on the road. So to me, it's the Rockets or nobody. Assuming Jalen Green, all these guys play. I think the Rockets. There are some good matchups for props in this game, but yeah, man. Rockets or nobody. But I'm not saying that was super enthusiasm because I don't want to lay all these points. A lot of points, but I can see the Rockets killing them, even though they're on the road. Next we got the Lakers against the Dallas Mavericks. Lakers laying 7.5 points on the road. Everyone's on the Lakers, man. I mean, this is another big favorite where everyone's on the big favorite. Lakers looks like they'll have probably everyone playing. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, these are the guys you really care about. In terms of the Dallas Mavericks, they have a ton of injuries. They have Luka Doncic hurt, and Kyrie Irving also out. Luka Doncic needs to be out for another few weeks. Same thing with Kyrie. So this team is on basically a secondary squad. But I mean, it's not saying that the Lakers should blow them out. Mavericks, man, they were doing really good to start the season. I mean, just injuries have plagued them so far. Lakers 7.5 point favorites on the road. I mean, it's not something I want to do. Mavericks, I mean, they still have a pretty solid squad without Luka or Kyrie, but obviously two big stars missing. There's a big spread with a team that's still fairly talented. The one place I don't like rocking with the Lakers is with on the road laying a lot of points. Of course, the Dallas Mavericks without Kyrie and Luka is not the same team. They will have, however, I mean, some other guys have Washington, they have PJ Washington playing. They'll probably have Lively playing. But I mean, this squad is definitely not up to task to battle this a fully healthy Lakers team. I don't know, man. I mean, it's not a game I love either. But if I had to make a game pick, man, because all these stats are irrelevant. No Kyrie, no Luka. But I don't. I just off the system play. I just don't want to lay a lot of points with the Lakers. So give me the Dallas Mavericks plus 7.5. I'm not saying that with a lot of confidence. I'll probably skip this game. Maybe play props to be honest. But yeah, I don't want to touch this game. The two main stars, best players on that team are out, and even with the other guys like Spencer Dinwiddie playing a few other guys, they're not gonna be up to task to really beat them. But I like betting on dogs, and maybe unless the spread's so big that maybe they have a slight chance at winning. So yeah, let's go talk about the next few games. And hey, this game right here, man, the Timberwolves against the New Orleans Pelicans. Very low spread, man. 5.5 point spread. Reason why Timberwolves are on the road with travel. Again, another favorite everyone seems to be on, bro. I mean, I'm not making this up. Publix loves betting overs and favorites. It doesn't mean that they can't win, but on a back-to-back with travel, this is definitely a different type of game. So let's take a look. In terms of the matchup, let's see who's injured. Supposedly, I heard that Zion might be coming back. The Jonathan's a game time decision. So if he comes back and he's healthy, this is a game changer, bro. I mean, Zion is a major part of this team. Obviously, it'll take away time from probably like Herb Jones. I think Trey Murphy is out, so that's big. I mean, that's a big loss. I think it's almost a 1-for-1 loss to a certain extent because Zion, who knows how many minutes he even plays? He might be on a minute restriction. Timberwolves just played last night. They won. They came back and beat the Clippers, so they are playing on the road with. They're playing this back to back with traveling to New Orleans. So in terms of the matchup, I mean the Pelicans have been terrible this entire season, man. 7-29. That's been the biggest shocker in my opinion. But just like the Mavericks are feeling right now, they are just plagued by injuries. So why is the spread so low? I mean, Minnesota's definitely the better team. They've also been disappointed in their own right, but I mean, I don't know. I think the Pelicans, the one thing that they have a problem with is turnovers, transition buckets. Timberwolves can definitely do that with their decently strong defense. Definitely not as good as last year. On the back-to-back, look, I don't know if Zion's 100% playing. If he does play, how much of an impact does he actually make? Him, McCollum, DeJounte Murray. We'll see. Yeez Misi playing. I don't know. I think something in me wants me to just take the Pelicans. It's tough to handicap games where it's a whole new team, basically, especially with a very impactful player like Zion, who you know what he does, but you don't know how he's going to be playing and molding with this team. Yeah, man. I mean, on a back-to-back with travel, this game spread is very low. It looks like a trap. I'm gonna probably side with where I think the trap may be. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans plus 5.5. Call me crazy, but something doesn't seem right. This spread seems way too low given the name value, brand value of the Timberwolves. Even on the back-to-back with travel, I think people are definitely looking at this being like, wow, it's a low spread. Let me take the Timberwolves with the trash Pelicans team. I wouldn't be surprised the Pelicans won outright, man. These are the type of games where with my experience, that's what it looks like. All right, next game. Let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks against the Utah Jazz. It's another. Well, I'm sorry. Let's go back. There's another game. I'm gonna pull this back up. Another game where a lot of money is on the favorite. So Pelicans, the Hawks, 6.5 point favorites on the road, and I have not loved ever betting the Hawks on the road with points. The one thing is Jalen Johnson is out, but the Hawks have a really, really deep team, man. I mean, even though Jalen Johnson is out, they have Capella playing at the center. They also have I'm forgetting his name, but another power forward, DeAndre Hunter, another power forward that is excellent. But the Jazz also have a lot of injuries as well. Keontae George, John Collins, Jordan Clarkson. So a tough spot for them. Laurie Markin's a game time decision. I mean, the Jazz, another team that has a lot of talent, but just been absolute trash. Defensively, not been good. Offensively, also not been good. If they're missing all these guys, their secondary unit's not good. But I do think it's a great game for props. It's definitely going to be a fast-paced game, shootout type game. So if you want to bet over on props, I think it's a great one. Probably the highest total on the board, 236. I'm going to be honest, man. I think I'm going to take the Hawks, even with all these points on the road. I think they're the deeper team, even with the injuries of Jalen Johnson. If Jordan Clarkson, if, let's see who else is, I forget his name, but a few of these other guys I mentioned, if they're all out, there's not too much to play with on the Jazz team, whether it's the starters or the secondary unit. But I do think because of these injuries, there are great props to be had on this game. Give me the Hawks minus 6.5. But all right, guys, before I go to the last two games on the board, I do want to say if you do want to get all my plays for a week free, definitely go on one of my DFS partners. I'll put up right here. Vivid Picks, man. You get up to a $250 welcome bonus plus a $25 secure pick. In other words, if your first play loses, you get a refund up to $25 plus that deposit match. So go sign up on Vivid Picks. Use code LOCKTALK. And yeah, man, I know you can't use game sides to bet on it, but we do have player props. I spring them all around all the time, whether it's on my Instagram or in premium. So I'd say go get it, and we'll rock some plays in premium with those player props because you know I love the player props. All right, last two games, man. Boston Celtics against the Nuggets. I mean, if I would have said this maybe a few years later, this could have been a championship type game. Boston Celtics just got their butts beat by the Thunder, man. They were winning the game, and then the Thunder came back and destroyed them. Yeah, I mean, on the road against the Nuggets, Nuggets historically have done very, very well at home. They have not been the same dominating team just in general, but even at home. We take a look at the injuries. Aaron Gordon's still out. So and they're gonna be starting Russell Westbrook again. I mean, hey, look, I, I don't know, man. Maybe we're catching the Nuggets in a good spot. I mean, the Nuggets have been playing a little bit better at home. The Boston Celtics are on this pretty, I'd say they're gonna be on a tough road trip. Let's take a look at kind of who they've been playing. 6.5 points is a lot, bro. It's a lot. But they're on a 4-game road trip. They just play Minnesota, Houston, OKC. Won the first two, lost the last one to the Thunder. Nuggets, on the other hand, they're coming back from a doubleheader with San Antonio, where they just played in San Antonio 3 days ago. So, I mean, they had a lot of rest. That could be positive or negative, not always a positive, but I don't know, man. I think this is a tough road spot for Boston, a really, really tough spot. I think we take the Nuggets here at home plus the points. I wouldn't be surprised if the Boston Celtics won outright for sure. But I think this is too many points, man. I wouldn't feel comfortable laying this many points on the last leg or the last few legs of a road trip. 4 games on the road in the thin Denver air. So give me the Nuggets plus 6.5. And all right, guys, man, guys, we've been rocking for over 15 minutes. Show me some love, man. Like this video. Hit that subscribe button, man. Leave a comment, man. Who do you guys got in this game? What's your favorite bet on the board? Are you fading all my plays, or do you want to rock with me? Let's talk about this last game. I think this game's a goodie, bro. The Golden State Warriors against the Miami Heat, two teams where maybe Jimmy Butler might be going to the Golden State Warriors. But let's look at the matchup right here. Jimmy Butler's out. He's out on that suspension. And the Warriors, Kuminga is hurt. Gary Payton Pominski's hurt. Two teams that have been kind of, they've been doing okay. But, I mean, defensively, Golden State has been doing very, very well. Probably the biggest surprise of the year, in my opinion. Where they've been excellent is really the three-point line. And can they limit guys like Hero, Duncan Robinson, even Bam to a certain extent? Defensively on the other side as well, Heat also very, very good. But the thing is, they're not as good as at the three-point line. Obviously, you got guys like Buddy Hield, Steph Curry, who could all shoot the three ball, obviously. So I think, the Warriors at home, it's a tough one for me, man. But let's take a look at where the money's at. I do think this is a lot of goddamn points, though. Everyone is on the Warriors. Ooh, man, 9.5 points is crazy, bro. I think defensively, it's a tough spot for the Heat. But even offensively, it's tough for the Heat, man. I mean, their main thing is shooting threes, shooting a lot of threes, matter of fact. They can drive it into the bucket, but I don't know. There's a lot of points to be laying, bro. This is basically putting the Miami Heat as like a third-class team. I don't think they're like that. But with 9.5 points on the road, bro, oh man, this gets me. It's very confusing why they're getting so many points. I have this game really capped at maybe 6.5 or 7, but this is the second game of their road trip. They just lost to the Sacramento Kings, but even before that, they lost to the Jazz, the Pacers. They beat the Pelicans, but the Pelicans are no one to be happy about beating. But even the Golden State Warriors, they have also been playing okay. I mean, they lost against the Sacramento Kings. They whooped the Grizzlies, whooped the 76ers. This is all at home. Yeah, man. I mean, in terms of the head-to-head, when they played already, they haven't played this season. So all these numbers are kind of irrelevant. I don't know, man. I guess I would have to take a second look at this game. But I kind of want to lean with the Heat. It's a lot of points. Anytime any team gets a lot of points that have some type of talent, I would kind of lean with them. But yeah, man, it's not my favorite bet on the board. Oh, give me the Heat plus 9.5. But don't be surprised if I flip flop to Golden State. It is a tough game to call. I would have to do some more research on this one. But guys, been here for a long time. If you've been enjoying the content, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. And guys, I'll see you on the next video.